once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am starting early. A spontaneous adjustment to the normal scheduled time. So thank you sincerely to all of you who may find your way here and catch it with the live, tuning in or joining me. Thank you. And if you're tuning in later, then the time change doesn't affect you anyway. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. And today, praise God, live without fear. Today, the topic about celebrating time, the timing of celebrations. I tell you what, man, there's a lot going on in this mind of Jack Talcott. So I really do. I want to thank you because what I'm hoping to do is to share some joy, to share some hope, some excitement, some faith. You know, I want to share the perspectives on life that I've been allowed to receive because it gives my heart so much hope. Truly, I have such faith and hope in our future, the future of peace, where more and more join us to live without fear. Right? Because truly the breakthrough that we're looking for in our lives, this breakthrough, it lies ahead of us, not behind us. And if you can give yourself permission to celebrate your progress, how far you've come, well, maybe you'll see it like me. You'll see the future paths much more manageable, much more exciting than they used to be. Trust that all of your past, every bit of the pain, the growth, everything, the boredom, trust that all of the past was in preparation. That preparation is for your future celebrations. Celebrating like you have never celebrated before. Why? Because there's new reasons for you to celebrate that you just discovered all on your own. It's not really. It's by the grace of God when you find reasons to celebrate. So join me in celebrating today. Why not? I think it's Monday. And, you know, if we're alive, well, let's start there. It's a good reason to celebrate. There's a lot of people who are not alive, or there's a lot of people who are wishing they were not alive. And if by some chance that's you, you've had those thoughts, wishing you were not, please know that you're in the right spot at the right time because everything can change. Everything does change. And that's what I hope to be, is a voice that reminds you and me and everyone else that change is natural. And we can get through the change, right? We can get through the uncomfortable growths and the darkness of confusion, you know, stepping out where we don't really know what we're doing, stepping out into a brave new future, trying something new. We can help each other through that. Pretty sure that's what God created us to do. All I'm trying to do in my own life is to figure out what makes the most sense, what follows the most logical path. Right? Causes me the least pain, the least discomfort, and maybe produces the greatest growth, the greatest return. Those are the paths I'm trying to find. And what I realized is when I get out of my way, right? I get Jack out of the way of Jack's success. Well, Jack's success is right here and now, baby. You just got to feel it. So feel your own success, right? Give yourself a little, you made it this far, man. Good job, right? Atta girl, atta boy. We don't want to swell our heads, but it is important in your own path, no matter what stage of life you're at. It is important to pause and reflect. Look at where you've come. Look at how far you've made it. Sometimes maybe it doesn't look like you made it, but you made it through those other times, right? And every one of us, we've been through these times, periods of highs and lows, right? Pains and sorrows, and then excitement and celebration. That's just what life brings. It's a pendulum of emotions and opportunities, is it not? I mean, the waveforms come together so perfectly. The energies and the way that time unfolds, it's so perfect. It never misses. Time just progresses. And to us, it feels like it's this linear progression. And in some ways it is, because there's no going back. There's no going back to the way things were, or to what we think we could have done. There's no going back. All there is right here. And so let right here and now be the beginning of more fun. And if you can find fun in growth, in problem solving, in becoming, well, hello. That's what we're here to do. We are here to become who we were created to become, authentically, purely, not filled with toxicity, not filled with negativity, not filled with trauma and hate and greed. We're not supposed to be that way, man. We're supposed to be just as Jesus showed. There's no other way to be other than being honest and kind and forgiving and loving. I've tried a lot of the other ways, and I'm trying to break my habits of those. Really, I am. Because I don't really appreciate myself as much when when I've shared anger with others, when I've shared frustration or even sadness. I'm not even proud of myself when I share my sadness with others. I am proud of myself when I share joy. I share a little laughter, a little excitement, a little enthusiasm. I feel good about that, man. And I assume that you do too. And I assume that God may too, right? I can imagine the mind and hearts of the heavenly authors, right? The true chef and magician that makes life happen. That maestro, the one who's revealing his story through us, right? The author of history, God. I imagine God would just, when you love someone and you see them receiving joy, you see them receiving wisdom, you see them finding excitement and appreciation, there's nothing that feels better than that, right? So, what if we consciously tried to give that reward to the Heavenly Father, right? To our divine Mother Earth, who sustains us each and every day? What if we found reasons just to appreciate and celebrate the mere fact of being? It really is. Consider the logic, please. If you have a choice to celebrate or to not celebrate, well, okay. I suppose timing and context does matter, because you certainly don't want to be celebrating if there's urgency, if there's a fire or like a man made starvation happening or a state sponsored genocide. You don't want to just be sitting around and celebrating when the place is burning down, right? But we can celebrate as we clean up. We can celebrate as we mend our fences, as we repair the damages, as we go through our own paths of cleansing. We can celebrate it all. This is truly what I've been finding, is reasons and reasons to celebrate. And you guys are. Thank you. The folks who tune in and you see You see the opportunity or the value. You at least see my intentions and efforts. There's many of you. And for those who do see me, please. I was reminded earlier today by someone who cares that despite my intentions, sometimes I do still misspeak. And when I misspeak, I overlook all of you who have been so supportive of me, right? Because there are many of you. And so when I get in my feelers, right, and I feel that way and I start whatever, please overlook my choice, my ignorance to overlook the support that's always been there. I think that's what God does, honestly. Here today, I really didn't have a lot of ideas. I do when I don't, because these ideas of peace, right? The ideas of a better future, the ideas of breaking through, all of these things are real important to me, and I can discuss all sorts of different perspectives on that. But I do also recognize that a big part of this Jack Talcott character is the way I offer myself to be available to those who want to have discourse. So the link is available for those who are present and want to join. I didn't write a lot of notes today. Really, the only other inspiration besides the thumbnail was this observation I heard regarding the development of religions. Okay, and here, who Jack is, I am a man. I have a deep love of God, but I am very critical of religions. And here's another brilliant friend and guest. Let me welcome Breakfast Tacos. How are you, my friend?
Can you hear me?
Just
doing well.
You're coming in soft and you're all the way up. Something going on with you. I'm sure you'll get it figured out, but please, you are welcome. And for those who don't know yet, Real Breakfast Tacos, I encourage, please give him a subscribe and check it out. He hosts atheist, he hosts conversations. And as a host, he does a great job. It's far less chaotic than what Jack Talcott has been allowing. And as a result, he has some great conversations over there. Many of them on religion and God. And while our conclusions, I think, are a little bit different, it's clear to me that Breakfast Tacos has high values, high morals, I might say. At least that's my impression of you. If you are there, maybe still working on it. Yes, the link is pinned for those who do wish to join them. Worst tech issues. No worries. Back to where I was going regarding observations on religion. What I think has been used with religion, I've said this before, I think if you look at history honestly, religions have been used as coping mechanisms for the rulers, right? And religions have been used as excuses for warfare, from the Crusades to the other, is it caliphate? There's so many, right? Man has been fighting man for generations. And it's unity through authority.
Is that better?
That? Much better, my friend.
Sorry about that. I had the wrong mic selected and it was lagging out when I was trying to change it there.
No worries.
How you doing, buddy?
I am feeling blessed. I do want to turn you down just a little bit. You're coming in.
Oh, that's fine.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I have to turn myself way up for my stream, so my volume is way high, you know. Because if I don't have my volume above everybody else, they just overtalk me, right?
They sure try. I've seen that. And this is something I was honest. I don't know if you could hear me while you're dealing with your stuff, but I've admired the way that you host your conversations, and I encourage people check out Real Breakfast Tacos, give them a subscribe, and see for yourself.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I always love listening to you chat. I haven't been listening as much recently because of how much I've been streaming, but I always love chatting with you and listening to you chat, man. And I was working on some videos and I saw you pop up, so I was like, oh, cool, I'll go see what's going on there. But looks like you've been rocking and rolling, still doing your thing. Are you in a different location now? It looks like a different background.
Well, I've been traveling. Last week, I was visiting friends in New Orleans and friends from online that I've met in real life. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, and so I'm back in Baltimore now. This is my apartment. I have one of the viewers suggested I open the windows or open the
Oh,
drapes.
gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense, man. That makes sense. You got anything big going on? I know last time we spoke, you said that, or I guess we didn't speak. I was listening to one of your shows, and you said something like you were working on a documentary or something. Looked like you had worked your stuff out with Modern Men Lost again, and I don't know. There could have been stuff I missed in between there, but that was the last time I tuned in, right?
Well, I shouldn't laugh, but yes, there's been twists and turns in that relationship so far, and but the plans of a documentary, those are still continuing. Whether it involves Modern Men Lost again or not remains to be seen. But at this point, it looks like I'll be working with others
Gotcha.
towards. But I do hope that my genuine intention is to get some written content, right? Even if it's, I don't know, some self-published or make some written content available. I am working with others and we're discussing real life, doing live events. And so books, live events, documentaries, and I'm still pursuing real life political stuff too.
Are you going for office and something, or what's the goal with the real life stuff?
Well, the stuff I've been saying, I want to speak to officials at all levels of government, anyone who will listen to me.
Right.
This is
good luck with that. They don't seem to listen to any of us, man.
not yet, but I really do. I believe that everything is coming together. The evidence is becoming undeniable. Just before I started, I was looking at some of the world news, and there's people rising up against the nation states all around the world. And I believe many people all around the world, they're praying for America to do the right thing.
Right. What do you think about Trump's response to that horrible thing that happened the other day? Does that scare you?
Well, to live without fear has been helpful.
Right. I'm like centrist, and I'm even scared, man. Like the stuff he said was insane to me. Absolutely insane, man. Terrifying.
I've seen both. I've seen him make some real divisive and inflammatory statements. I did see also I think it was a State of the Union address he might have done. For the most part, I thought that was well said. But Donald Trump, he's fulfilling his role. He is the divider, and he's dividing America. He's fueling the flames of division, and it makes sense from a spiritual perspective because we're being given a choice. Do we want to divide? Do we want to follow what the world has been telling us to do? I've seen a lot of good people pressing back against that too, because the cry of, oh, it's the liberals, and I've heard Trump's rhetoric, and it is just, he doesn't realize what he's saying or doing. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand.
I think he understands exactly what he's doing. I mean, how can you say that against an entire group of people and not realize that you're creating division and you're further radicalizing another two sides? You're not just hitting one side with that. He's radicalizing the far right and the far left at the same time, right? Like, what the hell is he thinking?
He's not. That's the thing. He's reacting. And to me, if you look at Donald Trump just as a case study of human behavior, which he is, he's perpetuating this projection. He feels as though he's been bullied by the left, by the media. So he's using his excuses, his victim mentality of he's been the victim of bullies. Now that gives him the excuse to be the perpetrator. And so we're witnessing the victim perpetrator role in our commander in chief and his lackeys, his bootlickers he recruited. I want to address the whole group.
I think he's just pandering to his like crazy far right audience, but they don't. It's because he's had the split where like the crazy far right doesn't want Trump anymore, and so I think he's pandering to that group to try to pull them back in because he's got like half the Republicans on his side right now. And that I think this is his attempt to pull the rest of them back in. But I don't think anybody really wants a God Emperor Trump. Right? That's
nobody
like
wants what?
A God Emperor Trump, like a Kim Jong-un Trump, you know?
Right. But this is what I see. If we just accept the reality of what it is, we got a problem. Donald Trump and the way the American government is representing itself is a problem, and it's a worldwide problem. And I honestly think the best people to deal with the problem are those who are involved in the day-to-day operations. And we have the benefit of being outside of the internal chaos. But I am a man of peace, and what I really see what's happening in this world, it's a wake-up call. I saw this with Donald Trump when he first got elected. It's like, holy shit. I mean, when Donald Trump was first president, it was in 2017, where I was so disgusted at the state of the nation, so disgusted at the way America was. I said, someone's got to do something. I chose it to be me. I haven't made it very far yet, though.
It takes time, man. Me either. I get it. I'm trying to provide a sane, centrist, atheist voice, and no, I get it, man. Everybody's idiots, right? Like I'm an idiot, you're an idiot. Literally, everybody is an idiot, right? And we're all like sub 140 IQ, like nothing in comparison to probably what the future of AI is going to bring. They're going to be able to outperform us on everything. Like, yeah.
See, this is where I think we're a little different. Because I just think what you said could be true. We live in an idiocracy, right? That goofy movie was kind of a state of affairs. But I suggest that because of the way society has conditioned us, mankind has no clue of our capacity. The potential of our human minds, it's just just now starting to be more understood in sciences regarding, have you, I don't know if we, I don't remember if I've brought it up over on your channel or if you guys have discussed it. Have you come across the Heart Math Institute by
No, I
chance?
haven't.
It's something I learned of from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And as I understand it, they use modern equipment and they can measure electrical signals from the brain and magnetic frequencies, or they can measure the mind and the heart. And the way I'm seeing it, between some of the, actually, the way I see it, we are so blessed to be alive right now. Despite the current world conditions, we currently, because of the advancements in technology, right, computing, mechanization, because of the advancements of society, we have all of the answers we need. We can overcome the divisions of religion, politics, economics. We can overcome all of the problems. And I actually think, I really do, I really do think this is what's happening with us. Because my experience online, it happened, my time online here the past several years, it started well after I was already on my way of self-development, right? Paying attention to me and trying to become a better version of me. And there's evidence of my growth since I've been online. I think I do better. I get triggered less. I think I can communicate myself a little better than I used to. And so, in line with the idea of the thumbnail and the topic, if we can be at peace with where we are and the way the world is here and now, then we can realize in the future that's where our breakthrough lies. That's what growth brings, is breakthroughs. And I've experienced a whole bunch of them internally. These internal adjustments where my mind got blown or shifted, and where it brought me sincerely. Breakfast tacos, regarding the differences in faith, there is some force and its intelligence is far beyond me, but that force allows me to be. And it's been looking out for me. I can't explain, based on the way my life has progressed, I have to say there's something that's been protecting me. There's something that's been looking out for me, because the synchronicities and the things that have happened in my life, they have truly been unbelievable. And so
I totally disagree with what you're saying there, but I'm not going to go into that because some people do need their beliefs, right? And I think
yeah,
you may be one of those people, right? But I'm not saying that in a negative way, right?
right. This is the thing though, is I moved, I think the majority of my beliefs were shattered. And so because my beliefs became shattered regarding politics, economics, religion, I thought I had things figured out. I thought I had understandings of these things. But the more I learned about the history of the corruption and the way the things have been manipulated, the more I realized that my beliefs were not actually mine. They came from someone else. The majority of my beliefs did. So when my life fell apart, I really had to do the inner work and I had to question myself. What can I rely on? the only thing I can rely on is the facts. So I learned to trust what I know more than what I've heard or what I want. And the more I started,
I think you're taking a lot of your own achievements out of your own success, though, right? When you appeal to some seemingly non-existent thing, right?
yes,
Because it's your strength that's gotten you through whatever you've been going through, right? And it's you, your friends, maybe family that you've had conversations with. It's people that support you on YouTube. Like, this is a community that you've built and developed, and people that
mhm.
believe in the message that you're spreading. And this is all stuff that you've done, Jack.
I've made the choices. Yes, and thank you. I have made the choices I've made. Now, that makes me responsible for the good and the bad. But as far as the opportunities, I don't control any opportunities. I don't control any results. And I realize I found opportunities in this life that many others had not. And that's what started making me feel like, wow, I guess I have been pretty blessed. Maybe I'm not such a screw up. Maybe there is a reason behind all of this. And I've come to conclude that there is. It's anything we want it to be. We can believe there's no purpose for life, and that's how we'll live. We can believe that our purpose is whatever we choose it to be, and then that's how we'll live. There's many people who think their job is their purpose. They think revenge is their purpose. They think all sorts of crazy things. And I've done that too.
I think we should address Crew. He's going kind of cray-cray in the chat there. He says, Taco is a biased clown. I am definitely a clown to the theists that watch my show. They definitely think I'm a lolcow, even though I'm destroying their positions. Taco is biased as fuck about all the money What the fuck?
What?
Taco is biased as fuck all about money. Taco is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this full time, so of course, income is going to be a important aspect of that, right? I have been very clear about that. My audience asked me to go full time, and I've been trying, and they've been supporting me decently. I think I probably need about another 5,000 subscribers. Real talk, though. Taco has Taco connected you, Jack, with any help? Jack has never reached out to me, and then he says about that. But Crew says, "What has Taco helped you with, Jack? He works with many. Has Taco helped you in your goals?" Most of the people I work with are atheists that are going to adamantly disagree with Jack.
Right.
Although he did get connected with Wi-Fi Gospel the other day. Wi-Fi Gospel is an interesting character. And then, I mean, if Jack was to reach out and say, "Hey, connect me with people," it would be atheists that might have a conversation with him or something. But they're all pretty much atheists. I don't really have good connect. I mean, maybe Jim Bob, but I don't know if Jim Bob. Have you chatted with Jim Bob?
No,
No,
not yet.
no, yeah. But he's an interesting character, but he's
Yes.
much more right leaning than you.
Yeah.
And so you guys would probably have a political argument, and he'd probably make you look like a POS or something to his audience, right?
Yeah, he would. He would try. Yes.
Like, those are my connections, Crew. Just so you know.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all my connections. Open slate, right? I'm not hiding anything.
Hey, we've got a couple of guests who've shown up. We've got Steven is here, and Snafu has been in the back. I'm gonna bring up Steven first. Welcome back. How are you today?
Hello, brother. I'm feeling blessed. How are you, Jack? How are you? Breakfast tacos. I like tacos, by
Doing
the
all
way.
right, man.
I like tacos. I don't know why these guys are against tacos, but I
You
like
tried
tacos.
coming on the other day, but I was terrified to bring you up because you've dropped slurs on this show.
Oh,
before,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Because I've what?
Dropped slurs on this show before.
On this show?
Yeah.
So what he's referring to, and I've mentioned it, Breakfast Tacos does do a great job of moderating, and he keeps the standards and the morals pretty high on his stream. So it sounds like
Oh, sorry. I'm remembering now. Yeah, I did show up at your. I found your channel, and then I wanted to hop on your stream to talk about religion or whatever you guys were talking about. But yeah, I'm not going to drop any slurs.
Cool. I don't mind bringing you up sometime, but I don't want people dropping slurs on the stream. Like
yeah.
the R word is the only one that gets by because that's 50-50 and like half the Christians like to constantly slam that word, right? And
Religion, the religitard word, or is that?
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought the R word was religion. That's a bad word.
No.
I don't like religion.
No.
Sorry.
Here,
The one for slow.
here. I'm going to give the option to you guys. We've got Snafu in the back. Is there any interest in bringing him up?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind him, but you said the word for slow. You're not taking a shot at Don't Judge Me, are you, or Lumitami?
What? No.
Huh? No.
Never.
I'm talking about a politically socially unacceptable word that is used in place of slow or stupid by people that aren't socialized very well.
Okay. Well, that does describe them in a way, though. But anyway, I don't want to get into that.
we get the gist, and like
okay.
The point is, though, is if you do join Breakfast Tacos, just make sure and keep it straight.
I'll be good, Jack. I'll be on my best behavior as I have been here. I'd love to have a conversation on this show and talk about or debate or whatever. I'd love to.
I say bring Snafu up if you haven't banned him yet.
Bring him on. Let's
all right.
Let's have him
on. Okay, so Snafu, you hear it? You're being brought back up. So please, let's just keep it PG. All right.
You are the most disgusting, foul piece of shit, Jack. You sit. No offense to tacos, but hey, I have no problem preaching Jesus and God while I sit next to atheists and those who mock God and don't even believe him. But should we bring up people who are believers and followers? But here's what I got to ask Taco. Taco, no offense, but you are biased as shit. You are a grifter. We know you're full time. Hence, when we did the debate,
I literally said that.
It was biased debate with Jack.
Time.
I destroyed Jack in the debate. You were cucking to Jack, which is why you allowed what happened take place on. Many people were like at first thinking it was real, and then they saw what you did, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he just used Jack for clout." There was no real debate. Tacos is just as much a clown as everyone else. We all thought you were going to really let the debate go with Jack. Now, Jack, what's funny here is, you got to ask the audience, like, yeah, I have no problem bringing gays and those jabbed and.
I got bored of you already, Snafu.
I'm starting to sense that Jack Snafu kind of rubs you the wrong way sometimes, like his energy.
Well, I'm trying to listen.
We need to get Jack some super chats for dealing with that for a minute. You guys owe Jack like $10 for that. I'm just saying.
Please. Well, I'm really Snafu. I have listened to you, but most of what you're saying has no relevance. Okay, so where do we go? Snafu.
That's you've been looping on this bullshit stopping wars, preaching, making up
Right.
your own God.
Right.
Like, now, here's the thing.
Hold on.
May
Let's
I interrupt and ask a question? to
No, you
Snafu?
know what? We saw your biasness at first.
Please.
We actually thought.
God bless. Snafu, you're not taking a hint, dude. If you want to be here and be a part of this conversation, please, you've got to stop talking and listen.
No,
Snafu.
Jack, you're Nazi God blocking to put your.
I have a very
You are blocked.
easy to answer question for you, Snafu, if you're willing to address it. I just want to ask you, is it possible for people with different beliefs to be friends and have productive conversations, or is that an impossible thing, Snafu?
That is a very fair question, and I would love to hear Snafu's answer. So please,
Well,
did you hear
since
the
Jack likes to mod God and put his narratives out. No, I have no problem with doing that type of stuff. But when Jack is acting like he's a preacher and then blasphemies and makes God up and all this bullshit, and even your atheist friends know this guy's full of shit. All right, but what's hilarious? But here's what's hilarious.
Hang
It's
on,
called
bud.
unequally yoked, bud.
Hang on, man.
It's called
So-
unequally yoked, and this guy's
Hey,
blasphemous
hey,
as
man, hang on for just
and
1 second.
unequally yoked.
I just want to say, so every single theist I talk to, whether it's 15 different Christians or 20 Christians and 15 Buddhists and 25 whatever Muslims, every single one has different positions on their God beliefs, right? Every single one of them does. Right.
Yeah, but
there is no consistent standard.
Here's the deal. This guy's 1 minute saying he is Jesus and God, including with his own, on record. That's why. See, he's gonna block me now because I'm going over real points. His family and friends.
Right. You know the facts, and you are in denial. You're jumping to conclusions, Snafu.
Jack, you gotta do like a pay to mute like I do, like $2 a minute or something, so that when you have people like him up here, the audience can just pay to mute him, or like pay to remove or something, so that when you have these trolls up here, you can manage them without looking like you're mod godding.
That is a good approach.
I don't think you're doing anything wrong there. I do the same thing when people do that, but like if you have somebody like him up and he's doing that, they're going to be like, okay, mute him for 2 minutes so you can get your point out and then go from there, right?
Yes.
And let the audience have a little bit of fun trolling the trolls, right?
Here, I think we've got another opportunity, and it's a different choice. Similar energy, perhaps, but let's see where. Oh, actually, before I bring up our next guest, please be aware we are going to keep this PG. We don't need to run off into all sorts of slurs and ad hominems, but please welcome Evil Chev.
Fuck puppet.
What a
Now,
great
if I'm
intro.
an atheist, what do I stand on when we go back to nigger slavery? And that's the social norm. What do I stand on?
Dude, that's not okay. That's not okay, dude.
That's a slur. That's not right. I like Breakfast Taco's question about the question. I don't even know if Snafu answered. Did he? About different friends of that have different religious views. You asked a question if people could be friends and have different views. I thought
not
it was
even
a good
just
question.
Religious views. Like there's
just different
people
in
that
general?
are friends. I mean, any belief, right? There's so many different beliefs that everybody has of every position possible, economic, everything, right? And
Yes. We're not the same, is what you're saying.
Right. They bypass the nobody's the same, right? Everybody has
Right.
slightly different positions.
I'm 100% with you on that.
That's like saying you just can't be friends with people, right? They're not you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I've realized. It's not just in religion. A lot of people have these ideas and they don't actually think it through. specifically what came to mind is this thing I keep hearing from Snafu and Tommy about you can't be yoked to someone that's different than you, right? That's what you're talking about. They really believe this stuff. It's like,
I guess my question would be why? Why do they believe this stuff? Why don't they think that Jack could be friends with breakfast tacos because they say, well, he's an atheist and Jack's not an atheist. So why can't they see that this is possible?
I think Snafu did say that it's okay for people who don't agree to get along, but then he immediately went to why I was wrong. And I think his excuse was the way I mod God. So I don't know. I really don't want to keep entertaining the nonsense like that because they're not getting it. They're not even trying to understand what they're a part of. Holy cows. In the bigger picture, that's the human species. Most of us go through life without realizing what we are a part of, such as the the well-intentioned average American citizen who goes through their routines for a job, 30 years at the same employer, paying their taxes and trying to abide by the registrations and the licensing and all the expectations the society brings out. And people don't realize that by going along to get along in our temporary illusions of comfort, we are, by choice, by free will and election cycles, our taxpayers and the good people were supporting the murder and genocide of others. People aren't paying attention to what we're a part of, and we are a part of this time in history. And this time in history, it goes far beyond this nonsense little panel stuff, Snafu. Tommy, you guys know this stuff. So that brings me back to this other question.
That's not mod godding, though. One of them
Yeah.
dropped a slur, the other wouldn't stop talking and wouldn't.
Thank you.
That's you just managing your show. Anybody that says that is idiots. So you're trying to run a show, right?
That is what I'm trying to do. Thank you. I do allow him to mess around for far more than I should.
Tommy's a mod god, to be fair. He doesn't even let me go on and have a chance to speak. I show up backstage and he bans me. I didn't even get to say anything. He's a mod god.
Yeah, Trexty is 100% correct, right? Like, if they were up here acting normally and they said something you didn't like and you, like, kicked them or modded them or something, maybe, right? But it's still your show. This is your freedom of speech. This is how you express your freedom of speech on your show, right? You can allow anything or disallow anything you want for no reason other than your own opinion.
That's true. People complain about me doing that too. I mean, it's my show. I'm going to run it the way. I just saw something. I won't mention the channel, but right before I came on here, it was Rose. It was an AI video of Rose and Tommy. Somebody made. I won't mention the name, but it was very creepy. It was really weird. I was like, "What is this?" I didn't even know what to make of it. But I see Rose in the chat. Hello to Rose. It's great to see you here. Hello to Mind Mirage.
Yeah. Hey, all are welcome. Today again, I've been working on me because I do get frustrated and I start yelling at guests, and really there's no reason for me to do right. Breakfast Tacos has been a great example for me, along with others too, other creators online. But this is a pattern that I keep seeing in my own life. People enter into my experience, they don't appreciate me, they don't respect me, and then they want to tell me what to do. You guys deal with that much?
I try not to. I try to nip it in the bud with such characters. I think that Tommy might envy you somehow. He might have some kind of Jack Talcott addiction. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something there with Tommy. He can't stay away. He said he was going to stay away from your channel and show, and he never has. He's got an addiction.
Guys, yep, this is how God works. The universe works in mysterious ways, for sure.
I don't really have much of that problem. I more ask people what they'd like to see. But if it's really dumb or impossible or really hard to do or time consuming or if it's just somebody being a dick, I just ignore it, right? I mean, why you're doing your thing, you have a way you want it to look. Why would you care what, like, the people in your audience are the people that are in there chatting? Those are the people you should care about, right? The people that are pushing you in the algorithm.
The core
is
that what you're saying?
Yeah, the core, the people that are donating to you, like Arpol. I see him donate to you all the time. Who else? Maverick. No, not Maverick. The weird dude, the freak, right? Like people like that. Though, and then the people in the audience that are doing like 50 chats a show. That's your core. Those are the people that you need to be making your show for, right?
Thank you for that reminder.
And the loyal guests that show up day in, day out, like I do. I show up all the time, whether I'm hated or loved. I'm here, rain or shine.
Yes, you have been. And sometimes it's been frustrating, but other times it's been very appreciated too. So in this life, one of the lessons I've been learning online too, people make mistakes. I've made mistakes. Each of us, we've had our good days and we've got our bad days, but if we can just allow people to be who they are, as long as they're not really interfering or causing us problems, I try not to give them that much attention anymore. I mean, no offense, but I don't, for Snafu and Tommy, I don't actually give them the attention they give to me. That's for sure.
Yeah. I honestly think with Tommy, I suspect, I don't know this, but I suspect he still might have an addiction issue that he's trying to cover up, and that if he healed from that, he would be a different person. He would treat, this is the way I view it. My theory is he would treat people better, including Jack, me, others that he's attacked, Rose, and I think he would be a better person if he just kind of cleaned himself up and got the help that I think he needs, but that's my view.
Well, all of us would do better if we stopped and looked at ourselves, kind of clean up our attitude and our behavior. Every one of us has room to improve. And that's literally all I've been suggesting to some of these people is, hey, you can do better. You don't have to come at me every day.
We can all do better, but I tried to put it nicely. I didn't want to say that he eats out of dumpsters and tweaks on things and stuff like that, but I just think he's kind of having it rough, and he's in denial, as Jack has said many times. Tommy's in denial about certain things, and he's kind of in patterns of confusion. And well, I don't want to be too harsh with the guy, but he should let Jack and me and Breakfast Tacos and whoever else have our own reviews, whether they're religious or whatever, and not try to persecute us. I don't think Christians are supposed to persecute others for having a different view.
You know what? That is actually well said, Stephen. And while it is the personality of Evil Chev, I would like to hear what he'd say, but hopefully without the ridiculousness.
Behavior doesn't show that I'm Chev, I'm evil now.
I
Jack,
know.
you don't earn commercials. You're not monetized, cracker ass nigger.
Doesn't matter, Tommy. There's things that I do not appreciate. You realize that, let me be explicitly clear, Tommy. I do not appreciate you bringing that language here to me. If you want to talk like that elsewhere, I don't care, but just not here. It's not unreasonable, is it?
Jack, can I ask you a question? Would a good friend be silent if someone was really struggling, or would a good friend point out what they see? If they think someone might be struggling, would they mention it or just kind of keep it quiet?
I believe a friend will address it and truly try to offer support, which I feel like I have with Tommy. Honestly,
I feel like I have as well, and he shot it down. He tends to push people away that reach out in friendship. I don't think he trusts anyone, not just Jack Talcott or me.
Right.
I don't think Tommy, I really don't see him trusting Don't Judge Me or anyone else that's around him. So, what are your thoughts on this breakfast tacos? Should somebody be quiet if they see somebody really struggling, let's say with addiction or homelessness, or should they mention it and try to help them out? And
You should try to help them, but know that there's like a 99% chance they're not going to listen or care.
well, and here, Special K, yeah, you see it, but for some reason, you and Tommy don't realize that he's been wrong. He's trying to get me and others to think like him. Well, the way he thinks is not, it's not logical.
it's forceful. He's trying to force it upon you, what he thinks, and he wants you to conform. And I don't think Jack likes being told what to think or
Oh, no.
believe. Right? That's
I
crossing the
don't
line.
think anybody
right?
likes being told what to think or
No,
believe.
that's
Nobody
true.
does.
That's
Right.
true. But some especially more so than others, I would say.
I have had that has been a trigger for me because, whatever the way my past was, people telling me what to do. Yeah, I kind of, it gets the hairs on my neck standing up a little bit, especially when they don't know me. They think they do.
Can I ask both of you guys a question that's related to this? Have you ever had Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormon people show up at the door and basically be forceful and try to force their beliefs onto you and argue with you, or just, and you sometimes it's a Saturday morning and you're barely awake and they're trying to hammer this home that the world's ending and this is going to happen, and they have pamphlets and a clipboard and they're just being very forceful about this is the way it is.
Well, I can tell you,
Go ahead.
I don't open my door unless I know who they are.
Even if it was me, you wouldn't open the door.
I mean, if I knew who you were in person, I might. But like, if I look through my security camera and I don't recognize them, I just let them ring.
Oh, okay. So you've never had a conversation with people trying to force their religious?
Oh, hell
views?
no, dude. I'm antisocial. I don't want to talk to anybody at my door that I didn't invite over.
I guess what I'm getting at here is most people, I think Jack has probably dealt with this, do not like that. Most people are not going to be open at their door to somebody telling them, this is the way, you're all wrong. If you're an atheist or if you're a Catholic, you have it wrong. You got to join us, Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons. They can be very forceful. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I think that Tommy is similar. He goes around trying to force people. You have to believe the way Tommy does. And it just doesn't work. The reason I'm saying this is trying to be helpful to Tommy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work with Jack. It doesn't work with me. Tacos wouldn't even answer the door. He'd see the security. If it was Tommy or some religious person trying to force, he wouldn't answer. It's not successful.
I agree. Hank, thank you for the contributions. Good afternoon, Jack Talcott, Breakfast Tacos, and Steve, Black Steve. It looks like Evil Chev has stepped out, and we may have Tommy here. So let's see how this.
Yeah, because you're oblivious to bits. It's like I said, you're not entertaining. You entertain liars and false narrative, and you nod along with shit you know's a lie, and that's a very bad thing to do as an alleged stand-up man who's Christed and gonna end wars and delusional. Still talking to fake Dom?
No.
Why not?
I have.
See, Tacos, we aren't these people that are pursuing Jack. We were Jack's friends. I said, hey, let me help you find out. I've got a history of busting scammers as a hobby. Let me help you find out if this is your son. And he was so scared to have the Panelverse know that it's not his son, which would have been fine. We found out. But now he found out the hard way.
You're not accurate.
He got to tell us he's been talking to him, and now we found out his family's doubling down on Jack. Leave us alone. Stop talking about us. We don't want any.
Who told you that? Tommy?
Oh, no. You just sat here and kept me in the backstage and lied about me and enabled Steven's lies. I ain't got to play your little games. But I am going to play your games on the... hey, fuck off.
Hey.
I am going to play your little games with that's you.
Hey. Chill out, please.
That's you. Did you hear how you said that?
Be respectful of others, Tommy. You got to learn some manners.
I don't respect you. You're a liar and you're fake.
Okay, but Tom, it doesn't
mean the term. I'm the one that coined the term mod god, and all I see is a Panelverse trying to tell me what that means. Steven, I can't mod god you if I don't bring you up. I don't like you. I'm done with you.
Here,
and Jack's gonna love this same old thing you play.
Tommy, you're lying. I think you love me.
Here.
No, please. You're a liar.
Tom.
Ooh.
What can we do? Can we try something different? Can we try something?
You try coming to Denver and saying some of this shit to my face, and I'll show you how bad a Christian I am.
Can we try something?
Tacos, you don't wreck Christian positions. You wreck what you project as a Christian position, because you're as wrong as Jack a lot of the time. And Jack, you should consider that atheists agree with your Christianity more than Christians do.
Well, they agree with my values.
You don't have values, and that's what I wanted to ask Tacos. If he just goes by the social standard, what's he gonna stand on when that's a not good thing?
Tell you what, Tom. I want to be.
Well, you can answer for him. That's not you. Go ahead and answer for him. Play an answer.
Can I please say a statement without being interrupted?
I don't know. Could you please nod with Stephen Moore when he says I'm a homeless drug addict?
I probably could. So what I wanted to...
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
Look, I'm trying to offer you like a peace offering.
You believe that?
Do I believe what?
You fucking moron. You heard what the fuck I said.
I don't remember. What did you say?
Well, then do you think you can carry on a legit conversation with any congressman or president if you can't stay on the fucking point?
Yes.
Or maybe you just backstage them and narrate for them.
No, it'll be easy because there will be a topic, not trying to follow fucking Tom's lunacy.
So I'm a crazy homeless drug addict. You're going to stand on that.
I didn't say that.
Oh, well, I'm reminding you nodded along with Steven when he said it. You nod along with your daddy when he says those things. And since you've all been set straight.
Tom, Please, just for a moment.
Liar.
You're about to be tossed out. Okay?
No, I'm not.
He chose to leave. Thank you for your patience. Sorry about that.
Thank you. He's
Taco,
quite a character. Hey, Hank, what's going on?
I
actually,
saw Jack live and just said I was check out on it, check him out, make sure he's okay and stuff. Just check in on him.
and what I was trying to do was actually invite Breakfast Tacos and Tommy to talk. I was going to ask and make sure it was okay and suggest it, since it might take his focus off of me and maybe he could calm down a little bit.
I don't know. There's something going on there. He didn't want to have a conversation. He wanted to talk at you. It seemed like, you know.
Thank you. That's the truth. That's what I keep facing. And actually, if you step back and you look at a lot of the common panel verse, that's what it is. It's people talking at each other. They're not even engaged in the same conversations many times. It's fascinating to watch. It goes from one topic to another topic. And I've done that within my own head. So I get why it happens around us. But this experience online, what it's shown me, regardless of anything else, what I have learned from this online experience is it's very important how we communicate with each other. Because if we can't figure out how to communicate with each other, it just turns into chaos and nonsense. And I agree. Tacos, that's it. Every single time. Love tacos, man.
Yeah, I love tacos too. Tacos are great, but I think he's more than just talking at Jack. He's yelling at Jack. He's fuming. He's kind of just dumping on Jack like his frustration. It seems to be from deep within. I think there is something in there with Tommy that needs to heal, and he's taking it out, directing it at Jack, similar to Margot. I think there is something there.
There's a pattern. But truly, if you bring in the idea of spirituality, it makes sense. I mean, my goal is to, well, I've been studying health and wellness. I've come across a lot of different modalities that different people have been using to bring mental health, emotional health, physical health. So it would make sense that I've come across a lot of people who are in need of those things. That's the way the universe works, man. It brings answers.
What these guys need is simply to go to their kitchen and make a badass chili dog, right? Get some nice chili, get a couple hot dogs, some buns, some onions, some cheese, some cilantro. You're good to go.
So here's the sad thing, Breakfast Tacos. Many of these people who come up against Jack don't have kitchens of their own. So they should go to the local gas station, restaurant combo, and just order a hot dog from there.
What, Hank, are you saying many are homeless here? Is that what you're saying?
But many who oppose Jack are literally bumps.
Which is fascinating too. And this is something, admittedly, I realize how my ideas, especially if you don't give it any time or consideration, what I'm suggesting might sound impossible. But truly, if there is a way for wars to end and for mankind to create better ways for the future, I don't understand why so many people want to gamble against betting, by betting against me. Literally trying to sabotage me. That's what Margot's done, Snafu, many of the people, hell, my union reps did that. I mean, that's why I'm still pursuing conversations with the people who took my past life away.
Yeah, I think I just react differently than you. But when people try to sabotage me, I kind of like to either block them out entirely or counter sabotage them. But you try to make peace with them, even though you already gave them a chance the first 3 or 4 times around, and they knock the gift out of your hands.
Dude, I just block them and move on.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of like breakfast tacos in that respect, but
You guys have all had a different experience than me, and we have different goals.
that is true.
You know, and I am a man. I didn't consciously set out on this path, right? But I found myself once I started on my path of recovery from the many years of alcoholism. I started learning new things again. And once I started learning new things again, I felt this thirst come up within me, this unquenchable thirst for learning, for new knowledge, because I got addicted. I got addicted to the idea of learning new ideas and creating more value inside of myself, more opportunities outside of myself. I've become addicted. And along my path, my search for the truth, it brought me into the religions and the philosophies. And I don't have a belief of God, not at all. I believe that reality might be real, but I feel like I know God is real. And
I would
so,
simply say that's impossible because the type of metaphysical speculation that you're making is purely metaphysical speculation. And so you could only make some type of probabilistic argument for that type of thing.
Yes, but if we tell you
Fair
about the
enough.
Marvel movie, we can make an absolute argument because you could see Thor in it, and Thor is a god.
Fair enough, but it's kind of an if-then conclusion that I came to. If I am, then God is. There is no other way for me to be without an intelligent, supernatural force that brought forth the universe. Because the logic, I mean, people have done the math and calculated the odds against us being who we are. The odds of us being alive in many cases, it defies the odds.
No, it actually, I took the time to create I did a Bayesian analysis. So I took the top 10 leading Christian theologians' numbers for Bayesian analysis that they were using to calculate this. And then I took my position, which is basically just a monistic position that reduces to a field, and then which is basically what the models are pointing to, some type of fundamental substrate. And then I plugged in their priors, and even with theism, I put in like bare theism first. So bare theism annihilated them all these religious positions, and then which is just like no preconditions to the religion in the Bayesian analysis. And then except I think for the William Lane Craig argument, because he has an insane amount of credence given to miracles, and then like you would have to be insane to accept his priors on miracles. That's how high they were. And then with that, I also ran that with my position, and my position beat in the theistic comparisons. I think it beat like 2 or 3 of them. But when I did a more neutral settings, and which isn't like pushing priors of either side, my model beat 9 out of 10 of them, except for William Lane Craig, once again because of the literally insane number of like the insane credence that he gives to miracles. And then like you'd literally have to be insane to accept that. And then I went to a more like I did a neutral one, and then I did one that was more like better aligned with reality. and then my model and the bear theism model beat all those, right? And then
Yeah.
my model obviously beat bear theism, right?
Yes, that's
This
convenient.
was just like a standard Bayesian analysis, and I'd say that if I would say what this means is that you should not accept any numbers that theists are giving you for that type of stuff, right? So if you're quoting stuff like that, the idea behind it is that their models are just them plugging in numbers. That's it. There's no actual. They're just plugging in what they think is prior. It's not actually based in reality.
Yes,
Maybe
how convenient that
your experience. Sorry, go ahead, Hank.
yes,
Go ahead.
how convenient that your assumptions fall through to your conclusion. Like maybe you do in like a Neil Gaiman style American Gods, your results will be different, but at least your math worked out.
There is something to this. We live in a reality. In this society, we're told, you don't believe it unless you see it. But truly, in my experience, from what I've learned and personally experienced, it's more the other way. If you don't believe something, you probably won't see it. You'll overlook it. You'll find a reason to dismiss it. This works in many different ways, even in the realm of imagination. If people don't believe the world can end, that wars can end, they're never going to consider how it can happen. And that's kind of what I've been facing, is I've been facing people's beliefs that they know enough to know what is and is not possible. I don't believe that anymore. We've got a guest here in the back. I'm curious to see how this goes. Jack, welcome to you.
Yeah, what's up? I think I've talked to the other guy before. Yesterday we were talking to him.
Oh, this is Aaron. This guy is super fun.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
Today he was on Steve McRae's panel today.
Hey, welcome to you, Jack.
Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, I kind of I have my own ideas and theories and stuff, but it took me. I've literally thought about things for 20 years, and I don't know everything. Like this other guy here. What's his name? Breakfast. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, he knows everything. I don't know everything, but I do have my own like ideas and opinions. Unique things I think I've figured out over time. Like, because I woke up about 20 years ago, and I've been trying to research and what I'm thinking and stuff, but I don't know. And then I even develop it now. Like today, I'm even trying to develop. Like, I want to know, like, what's the next steps? Like, okay, we've established things are messed up, but what's the next step? Could you imagine if you predicted certain things? Like, and that's kind of what I do is I go, okay, well, what's the next step? And whether or not I can figure it out, it's kind of interesting to think about it, So it's a hard thing to do. But clearly they have an agenda, and it's like, well, what's the next step in that agenda? What's their game plan and different things?
Well, I think I've seen enough of the big pictures, some of the plans and agendas that are out there, and it, just follow the logical course of what we see publicly. It's the pursuit of money and power. That's the agenda. The agenda is to establish a one world control, to have social credit scores, further reduce the.
You're gonna own bugs, or you're gonna eat bugs and own nothing.
That's
I just want to say that Aaron licking that disgusting flypaper yesterday was one of the most disgusting and funny things I've ever seen.
Oh, sorry, I was just joking. I do that sometimes, but no, I only do that if it's okay or whatever. So I apologize. Sometimes I go a little too far. My bad. No, I try to be serious though. Like I do have like intellectual discussions and stuff, but I'm not the smartest or the dumbest, but I try to figure some
Well,
things out.
I think we can all follow reason. If we can all agree to terms or ideas, we can follow reasoning together. And what I have reasoned, the conclusion I've come to is that, well, it is supported by the Bible and other documents from the past, but the truth, the truth shall set us free from our confusion, our deception, this nonsense. We've got, the world is so divided. Behind all of the divisions, we've got to face it. It really is money. The world has been driven by money and fear. Money and fear have resulted in the wealth inequality and the patterns of war and selfishness. But if we unite together, we don't have to have all of the answers, but if we can at least say, we know there's a better way, and we will create the better way, we'll figure it out. I know that we can do it. When secrets are no longer legal, the world becomes safer for everyone.
Yeah, my biggest issue is who we is. That's my biggest issue, because some people will contribute negatively to this we, and I'd rather just have them be crazy over there.
I mean, are you talking about now or in the future? Because the us versus them, that's the bullshit that has us divided. And when I say we, I mean humanity, people.
I'd probably stay in the moment like you sometimes stay, and just right now, some people will contribute negatively to this the we, and actually was preventing the conflict.
Is there a reason for the question? I mean, what am I trying to clarify here?
Let me try to clarify here.
Well,
I mean, like Tommy just today, for example.
Well, I think you were asking, when I say we, what I'm referring to is those of the human design who are alive this is September of 2025, right? So if we share this timeline and we're all here on this earth in whatever shape it might be, we've got problems in this world, in our society. It's resulting in the starvation and murder of innocent people. There's a lot of suffering in the world today. It's not really directly hitting us on the Panelverse, and I realize that. That's why we're blessed in many ways. But let's share our safety. Let's share our security with those other men and women who don't have that yet. I know we can if we choose to.
Should we give these people a universal basic income, like a socialist system? When you mentioned the money, Jack, being a problem, do you have a solution for that? I'm just curious, respectfully.
Yeah. If we accept the facts, we've proven that our money system is a lie, right? Fiat currency, it's monopoly. We're playing a game, and real human lives are suffering as a result of the exploitation and the selfishness of people. So secrets and lies have resulted in a very deceived and confused generation. Until we stop enabling the confusion, mankind is going to continue to be at war with itself. We're fighting against nature. We're fighting against health. Our nation is starting wars, right? We're sending troops into fucking Venezuela right now. I mean, this stuff is happening in the real time.
Oh, I didn't know we were going into Venezuela. That is it. Oh wow, damn.
They blew up a boat with 11 people on it, and according to the U.S. government, it was drug traffickers.
They just blew up another boat just this second. I'm not even joking. It's right on the news. I'm watching it. They
Yeah,
just blew up a new boat. You got to check it out. Right now, he did it again.
The American government has been involved with the Venezuelan politics for a while now. And Donald Trump and the guy, what's his name, Bolsonaro or whatever, those guys are buddies. Donald Trump is buddies with a lot of the fascists and dictators in the world. So what does that say?
So I have a question, Jack.
It's scary. That's what it says.
Yes. So I have a question, Jack. What would you say to an extinctionist, which would be a person who says the only way to end our wars is to end all life in general? I think they're cringe, but what do you say to them?
They're mistaken. Because truly, it defies logic. Life preserves life. War creates destruction and death in many, many different ways. I mean, think of the wildlife too that's having to deal with America and all these, not just America, but the wildlife that has to deal with our wars and our pollutions and all of this stuff.
Yeah, extinctions were for getting rid of those too, the wildlife, the plants, the microbiome, everything. So that's why I think it's nuts. It's worse than a cartoon villain.
Here, New Guru, I'd like to ask you a different question. As you keep presenting this stuff, you're one of those that thinks the answer is to go hide off in the woods and pretend like reality isn't real. So you and I, we disagree on some of these things. Why associate yourselves with abusive systems? Lack of morality, lack of care? Why refuse to confront abusive systems? Why not look out for our fellow neighbors? If you know these systems are abusive, why are we? Tell you what, why don't you join me in my efforts to confront these abusive systems? Because I don't lack morality. I don't lack care. I deeply care about morals and life and trying to change the world. Sorry, got off on there. I think this is true, man. United States government, the biggest drug dealer on earth, for sure. We blame the other nations, but the records show the U.S. government and operatives have made plenty of money selling drugs to people.
Can I show Aaron? Can I show Aaron a funny image? I put it in the back.
Oh my goodness! Is that you, Aaron?
I guess.
Is that Aaron or Jack? Does he call himself Jack?
He's Aaron, but
Oh.
that at least he was yesterday. And all the times he's
my
called
real
him
name is Aaron. I had it as Aaron, but I went to a different panel and I changed it to Jack just as a joke for the other, because they knew who I was. So because they even asked me, they're like, "Oh, why did you change your name?" I'm just like, "Oh, I just wanted to see what you would say." Like, not that it matters or anything. So I just left it as what I had it.
No, I made that because he called in yesterday and said he put a hole in his ceiling from doing a backflip. So I made an image of him doing a backflip. I thought it was funny. I thought he would like it.
Yeah, I had that little spot. Yeah, I got that spot on my ceiling there.
Wait, you put a mark on your ceiling doing a backflip? What?
Yeah.
Taco, I thought maybe that image was, you turning a Christian on.
No, dead serious.
That's okay.
Oh, that's funny. Well, guys, I know the things that I say, they may not, I don't know how they come across. I know that I didn't just wake up one morning and have these ideas that, hey, world peace is possible. I didn't believe in that. I didn't believe that there was alternatives to the money system. Someone did ask that question, and a legitimate question about the future. I don't believe that
Just
we need.
bartering.
What's that?
I like to barter. Yeah, sometimes I don't use money. I'll barter, like, because I'll literally go to a flea market or yard sale and just be like, "Hey, I'll trade you this for that." And sometimes they do it, but they're so you can have a system of trade without having money. You just trade straight up for whatever you want.
We could
Like,
also.
say you can offer your labor, and you go, "Okay, I want to trade my labor." And then what would you trade me for that? Okay, 10 bushels of corn. And then you can take that 10 bushels and trade it with somebody that, okay, I'll give you 1 bushel of corn for wheat. You know, but that's where money comes in.
Well,
Yeah, sorry, I'm retarded. I'm sorry. Oh, I
no,
didn't mean to use the R word either. Sorry.
you're just fine. I've given. There's a lot of perspectives on money, and the way it's been used, but truly, we could create a society of generosity through transparency, through honesty. We could create businesses and corporations and governments that were actually about fairness, right? And the only way that could work, the best way it could work, is using what we have today. We now have the technology to communicate. We could have true public oversight over the governance of the nation, but we've got to get past these illusions of authority, right? It's all a bunch of nonsense. People pretending to be bosses of each other. I used to be afraid of bosses. I used to get intimidated by managers and supervisors early, before I became more comfortable as a union rep. And then I started yelling at those guys. And that's kind of why I think my life has been preparing me for this. The United States has turned into a corporation. I know how to communicate with bosses. Get me in front of these people, man. Let's see what we can get done.
Hey Jack, I appreciate you having me up. I gotta start my show. I do appreciate you taking the time to chat. You have a good one, Aaron and King. Good seeing you guys. You guys all have fun. I'm gonna start saying stupid stuff for a little bit now. You guys have fun.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you, my friend. Blessings to you. And for those who are willing, yes, real breakfast tacos. Go ahead, Stephen. What do you say?
Yeah, I was still wondering about, do you think there should be a universal basic income for the poor, or the ones, like, how would you handle the ones that they just can't pay for themselves, like families, mostly blacks, single moms,
But
etc.?
it's we can break away from this idea that people have to earn their place in the world. God has given us all a place in the world. Nature provides freely. We could make sure that every human being on earth has access to food, shelter, health care, education, without it costing a dime. We can work together to raise the standards of living for everyone all around the world. All we've got to do is try. I know I've got the willingness to try. I'm recruiting. I'm recruiting.
This Aaron guy's out in nature right now. I almost wanted to call him Jack because it's on the screen, but he's showing nature, the sky, and Jack said about nature providing. So that ties in.
Every year I grow a garden, and every year it literally fails miserably. I'll show you my garden. Actually, this the best thing I've grown all year was an accident. I like threw trash outside or something and it started growing in this plant and I left it. And that the plant I just let grow randomly, it did better than the plants that I planted and I've been watering. So this is zucchini that randomly just grew here. And it's been doing better than my garden.
Nice.
I can
Dude.
show you my garden. And then so I try to be self-reliant, but then I can't. I'm like, I kept thinking if I could grow $100 in food, and that was like years ago, and I couldn't even really achieve that. I did at one point, but I'm even almost like having a conspiracy theory, like why are my plants dying? It's like, but it's probably just something I'm doing. But every year my plants die, or whatever. But so I can't even grow $100 in food because I'm not doing it right.
Well,
So
have you prayed over them though, like to bless the plants?
I don't
We're in
think
an
so. I
evil
need to
realm of
be
evil
more.
spirits.
I've tried praying, and I feel like it don't work, and it upsets me because I'm actually like, well, I want to believe in God, but every time I pray, I feel like the opposite of what I'm praying happens. So if I pray for life, I end up with death or something weird. But these are peppers; they work pretty good. Sorry, I'm not trying to change this topic. Oh, sorry. I'll just say, like, this plant's doing.
Do you want to discuss your relationship with God or your prayers?
I don't mind trying to discuss it. If I don't want to talk about it, I won't. But I have had an issue because, I mean,
Do
I
you
guess
know?
if you pray to God, you can't get everything you want. But I had something lately that was really weird, and
Okay.
I could not control it. And I said, okay, I knew this situation was coming up, and I'm like, okay, I can't control it. So maybe if I pray to God, and I'm like, all I can really do is pray to God. And I did it, and it ended horribly and miserably, and everybody suffered. And I'm like, oh God, like that feels like false hope. Like, because maybe instead of praying to God, I could have been thinking of doing something different. But I'm like, this is upsetting because I want to believe in God. But if
All
anything,
right.
like I'm always struggling with it and stuff too.
Okay. Do you know anything about me?
No.
Okay. I encourage you to look into Jack Talcott, the Live Without Fear, and the things I'm saying, because I don't have any doubts about God anymore.
I
I've
still
come to
try to believe
terms.
in them and stuff because I
I've
look
come
at these
to
other
terms.
people.
I've come to terms with the fact that not every prayer gets answered in the
Yeah.
time I want or in the way that I want, but it does not change the glory of God. The glory of God is to be known, brother. It's to be found and sought and celebrated. I encourage you, please. I know what I found that helped me, okay? And I'm trying to share what helped me with others. The fact is, the ego, the worries, the fear, the hate, the judgment, all that crap, it's not as real as God. It's not as real as love.
Let's not be too harsh with this guy, though, Jack. He is reaching out. He's a doubting Thomas. He's struggling, but there was one of the disciples was Thomas, doubting Thomas, and doubted Jesus. So this guy's struggling. TJ
Oh,
said, "Amen,
I
Jack."
heard
Great.
somebody say something about the lukewarm. They're like, "Oh, you're being lukewarm," which is worse than if you were a non-believer. And I kind of felt it. I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel it. Like maybe I am being lukewarm, and I try not to be. I actually try to be more decisive or whatever. But I guess just things happen, and you never know. So I try to believe in an open mind. I'll try to like because one thing that makes me want to be more religious is I look at these other people that are atheists and I'm like, well, I don't want to be like that. Like, look at them. They're all like, they ain't got it figured out. They want to act like they know, but they don't. But then every
Okay,
time
well,
I try to have a relationship with God, I just ain't feeling it. And it sucks
okay.
because I kind of would want one, but
I could probably help you if you're interested in it.
I've had things happen, but I'm like, well,
Okay, so
it
you're
didn't even
not.
feel like a God. It felt more like just the universe maybe has more than you think or something. But
Oh,
and
there's
that's
much
why
more than you think, Aaron. This is the key. I can help you understand the key. The conclusion is move beyond your thoughts, because it's in your thoughts that you find your doubts. And in the doubts, if you get comfortable with your doubts, then you're going to get comfortable with fears. And if you get comfortable with fears, then you are missing out on the vastness of God's love. God's love is worthy of your attention, your imagination, your consideration. Every one of us. Please do yourself a favor and try to move beyond the judgmental version of God you may have heard of, and try and move into the loving God and imagine God's love. And if you have trouble imagining God's love, well, look at the image and example of Jesus. That's what the story is for. Jesus was here on earth to glorify our Father in heaven. And in doing so, he showed us how to love one another. We can all love like that, should God allow it, and we do it ourselves.
Amen. Amen. I don't know if this will help, but God works through different places and people, and He spoke through. He's able to speak through people. Aaron and Bruce Lee was a spiritual man, and he said, "Empty your mind. Be like water, my friend." And you got to empty those thoughts. You're too much in your head, man. You're overthinking stuff too much. You're thinking too much about it.
yeah,
Tell you what, too much, too much can sound, we can judge ourselves, but realistically, our overthinking, that was the problem in my life. God gave me a strong mind. God gave me a creative mind. I didn't realize how creative I was, but I was finding all sorts of problems. Even when there wasn't real problems, I found problems. And that's because I didn't have God in my mind. I tell you what, if you bring the concept of God into your mind and you realize this, our God is not a God of confusion. Our God is a God of peace. And the peace is in the eternal moment that is this present moment. The peace is available always in the now. And if we can be at peace in the now, to swing it back to the thumbnail and stuff, if we can be at peace in the now, giving ourselves permission to celebrate the progress we've made, man, you can start to see breakthroughs coming forth. You can see cracks in the problems. You can see solutions and light shining through. Aaron, I see great hope for the future of mankind. And I believe we are experiencing this fulfillment of prophecy. And should God allow me to achieve my goals, these goals that are in my heart, for some reason, ending secrets, ending wars, I actually think that's fulfillment of prophecy. I didn't realize, never imagined it would be this difficult, that I would spend this many years trying to find people who are on board with these ideas. But here we are, guys. We're at a moment in time here This, yes, SBK, this, true. All of Scripture can be summed up in 2 rules. Both have to do with love. I mean, Jesus gave us a new commandment. Love yourselves like others. Ooh, love yourselves like others love you. We are to love God, to love one another. And this was my story, SBK. This is why I'm so impassioned with these ideas. I didn't realize it in my past. I was surrounded by love. I was surrounded by love and people who cared about me, but I didn't love myself because I'd been lying to myself. I didn't admit my shame as an alcoholic. I didn't admit my guilt of holding myself back. Once I started accepting my guilt, accepting my shame, and not beating myself up for it, but loving myself despite my guilt, despite my shame, it allows me to share that with others too. I'm confident this is what Jesus was trying to teach us, because everything I learned came back to him. And everything he taught, it's naturally written in our heart. The laws of God are not, they're not difficult. It's very simple to be honest, to be kind, to be forgiving. It's very simple to stand up and to speak out. It seems frightening, and the world will react. But hey, I feel like I got on the soapbox for a little bit. How are you guys feeling? What are your thoughts?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think this has been a good conversation. Trexty wrote an interesting comment. I'm not sure if you saw that one just recently. She said, "Imagination. You should see the disaster movies I've directed in my mind before I even got out of bed." See, this is people wrapped up in the mind, in their thoughts. And if they could do what Bruce Lee suggested, empty your mind. Be like water, my friend. And it's like an empty your mind of all these intrusive thoughts and worries, and people can, they can get wrapped up in this stuff. And have you ever heard of self-fulfilling prophecy, Jack, where people worry about shit so much that it actually happens? Like, it's like their mind makes that shit that they're worried about happen. So I wonder if that's going on in this world a lot more than we realize.
It is. It's part of this. One could say it's part of the satanic agenda. Satan works through manipulation, distortion, temptation. People willingly choose to have a man like Donald Trump as their president. We've willingly chosen to have a society that makes people sleep in the streets, and others have so much money they just take joy rides into the stratosphere.
I joined a panel one day, and this lady said that her friend was murdered due to satanic panic, and that her and her friend are Satanists, and that somebody killed her friend because they were prejudiced against Satanists. And
What?
there's this satanic panic, and I'm like,
Oh.
dude, people
What
are
the hell?
yeah, no,
Oh,
dude,
that's crazy.
people. I kept thinking that's so bogus sounding and ain't even funny, and the lady was adamant about it, and then somebody on panel made us quit talking about it because it was exposing them. Not that
No.
that's what I'm trying to do or anything. I'm just saying, because you were saying there's a satanic agenda. I agree with that, honestly. And it was
Right.
funny because this lady, she's like, well, I'm a Satanist and my friend was murdered due to satanic panic. And they're like, oh, yeah, Google satanic panic and all this stuff. And I'm like, but I've joined panels with flat earthers, and they're sitting there trying to tell you Earth is flat. And it's like, some of the stuff they'll say actually sounds interesting, but then like when they
We're getting a bit off topic, though. I'm sorry for jumping in, but
no, sorry.
Well,
no, but you said a satanic agenda, but it just reminded me of what
mhm,
you will experience in opposition. Like you will experience real Satanists and real agendas, and people try to say it's fake, but it's
okay,
like it really exists.
right. That's why I mentioned it. So, what are your thoughts on what I've been saying here? You mentioned you've come across panels where they talk about the flat Earth ideas and stuff like
Uh,
that. What do you think about my ideas that we can change the world? We can end wars and bring reforms through America.
yeah, a lot of people say that they're like, oh, it doesn't matter what I think. I can't change anything. And I'm like, that's so unempowering to think about. Like people think they can't change anything.
Right. We have the power
And
to
it's
do.
like, well, what if you could? Yeah, like
Please,
how
Hey,
Aaron,
are
Jack
you
or
doing it?
Aaron,
But
can we get back to Jack, the original Jack?
and thank you. And Aaron, that's what I'm suggesting we do. TJ, these lines of scripture true. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, declares the Lord. I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And I tell you what, when God allows you to awaken to that which is real, as God has helped me awaken to see that which is real, when you see that which is real and you can see God in all things, you truly it's you belong to God. There's no question, there's no doubt, there's no other option. God is with you when you see. So
Amen. Amen. You know, as a child, I read that passage, excuse me, in Catholic elementary school, and I was confused as a little kid. I thought, what do they mean by the house of Israel? I thought there was like a house. I didn't understand the meaning of it, but I was only like 6 years old or something at the time.
here, admittedly, my play on words with this Israel, it is mine. I mean, but to me, it makes sense though too from the lines of Jesus. He said, "For the Father is the is the vine. He is the branch." Right? Am I getting these mixed up? I know that through Jesus we graft into God's plans, and I what God allowed me to do was to wake up, to stop living so friggin' miserably, to
Yes,
stop wasting my time angry and afraid.
that's heavy to be miserable, angry, and afraid. It's like a weight. Um, TJ quoted from, what was it, Galatians?
Yeah, there.
I was reminded of Galutians. Remember that Galutians quote? I was like, it said Galutians instead of Galatians. I Galutians, but it turned out it wasn't that half bad anyway. But
No,
can I just add something to Trexty? I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. I don't know her personally, but when she said that, she said no disaster movies now in all hearts. That's good. I'm always happy when people are doing better with peace of mind and peaceful feeling. And go ahead, Jack.
no, I'm sorry. TJ found that scripture I was trying to remember from John.
Oh, good, good.
I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. There's another part too, I think. But
I
this
am the vine, you are the branches. Yes. Now that makes sense.
and um, this is truly what I've come to know in my heart. God's plan is for mankind to unite in Christ, to stop dividing, to stop fighting for power over one another. And through this, right, if we believe that what Jesus said is true, that love is the way, that as long as we walk with love, we walk with faith in the Father, that the Father will lead our way. I've been practicing this. I've been trying to practice this since 2018, and I can honestly say love has been leading the majority of my decisions. And every one of my decisions has been based upon facts. So I follow love, and the truth leads my way. I know God to be the truth. So if everyone just humbles ourselves to the truth from where we are and what we know, and we start being kind and respectful to one another, well, that fulfills the law.
So we're all excuse me, we're all we're all branches of Jesus.
Yeah.
We're all, Jesus is the vine, and we are the branches, and we're branching out into this world, into this physical realm, but we are spirits in a material world, just like that song by the Police, the group called the Police. We are spirits in a material world. So we are spirits in a material world. These are bodies, but we are branches of that vine that is Jesus.
It's complex, and yet it's very, very simple. It all comes down to love and faith, truly. Hey, Mind Mirage, great. Thank you. It's hard for me to watch your show, but when Stephen is here, I'm able to. When King Stephen is here, I'm able to. Hey, this one as well. This quote from Meister Eckhart: God sees you with the same eye that you see God with. That is the truth. Our vision, our mental vision, can be clouded by our memories, by our beliefs, our judgment. But when we move beyond our judgment, and we just sit and be with the awareness of all that might be, if you can open your mind's eye to have and include the awareness that of all that might be, meaning think beyond what we already know to be, think beyond what is known, and consider all that might be. As I've done that, considering all that might be, the conclusion I've come to is love. Love is the eternal force. Love is what Jesus is the symbol of. God is the truth. To know God, to know the truth, we must believe in love. We must walk with love. Otherwise, we're lost and confused like little children.
Yes, like little children, or like little feathers blowing in the wind, not having direction. And the wind can take you this way and that way, where the Father gives us direction. Thank you to Mind Mirage for saying that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you found peace, Trexty. I really am. I'm happy for you. I have no ill will towards you whatsoever, Trexty.
Well, she shared some of her experience publicly already, but sorry.
She had traumas, or?
No, she's experienced something profound, right? She was blessed in her experience to have a transformation, right? I don't know the right word, and it's her experience, but there was similarities between what I heard from her and what I felt in my own. And
that experience of going to the mirror, is that what you're speaking of?
Yeah.
She mentioned, she had a powerful spiritual experience. Yes, I recall that. Trexty, you should be honored that there are clips of you on my channel. It's really an honor. It's something that a lot of people take as an honor to be featured on my channel. I do try to feature various people, throughout the panelverse. So
Yes.
it's
I've noticed you are an interesting, fascinating man, Stephen. You truly are.
thank you, Jack. Flow State thinks so as well. He said that. He's actually said I'm obsessed with that man. He can't quite figure me out. He doesn't quite understand, I think, what I am, but I am various things to various people. I do my best to entertain and to educate and to play my role here in this realm.
That you do. But I respect and appreciate that you've been allowing the role to change too, right?
Yes.
I think we're growing. We're getting better in our ability to communicate. Holy cows! I was just remembering some of the guests we had. This was a crazy stream. I forgot about Tommy and
It
Snafu.
was, but I think my voice is so soothing that you almost forgot about them. After us talking for a while, you forgot about the other characters that were trying to disrupt the stream.
I did. The pleasantness replaced the unpleasantness.
Yes.
Here, any final words? I'm going to start wrapping up, please.
I just want to say, bless you all. I have no hard feelings against anybody, that even including ones that may have said things about me at certain times. I do love you all. Mad love to you, and bless you. And I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for having me on, Jack. I hope you have a restful and peaceful day. I'll see you again soon.
Much love. Appreciate it, Stephen. Brothers and sisters, all of you who were a part of today, tuning in with it, whether it was live or later, I did have some fun. To all the guests who swung through, Real Breakfast Tacos. Oh, yeah, by the way, our friend, Real Breakfast Tacos, he hosts an atheist channel. Like we said, our beliefs may differ in the conclusions, but we share similar values. And he does a great job of hosting conversations. So I do have a set to forward over that way. Before we do, TJ, thank you again for the support in the chat, especially with the scripture. It's an area where I truly appreciate the support. 1 Corinthians, and such were some of you, but you were washed, you were sanctified, you were justified in the name of Lord Jesus and by the Spirit of our God. And we are supposed to grow spiritually and mature. Bless you all. I'm going to start wrapping it up here. We've got a guest in the back, and I'm not going to entertain anymore. Thank you again to all who are here, and till the future. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless and peace. And give a shout out to Breakfast Tacos from here if you head over that way with us. Blessings to you.